So what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Sons of the Forest, and I think today what we're going to be doing is building a defensive wall and a gate and possibly a tower, depending on how long we actually have in the video and how long it takes. I'm not sure how big we're going to have to make the defensive wall, but we'll see as we go, and I'm going to try and get it as level to the base as possible, just because that's something I like to do. I don't really like the wall to be skew with in comparison to the base. So far, we're not being interrupted by any cannibals. So, I'm going to take some of these logs and I'm going to try and get the base level in a sense. Well, the wall level in a sense to the base. And again, I do apologize if you can hear the keyboard. It's something that I haven't been able to manage to solve yet, but that looks like it could work. So what we've done is we've just used the log indicator on the ground and squared it off as best we can to the actual base. And then we're going to try and level it out in some way, shape or form. I don't think we're going to need it massive, bearing in mind there's only me. Right, so what I'm going to try and do is I've placed that log as close as I can to this log on the ground. And I'm going to try and build a sort of wall slightly the length... Oh, Calvin's seen something. The length of this log, so that we get a nice sort of squared off point to start with, but it may take a few tries to get right. But we shall see. Oh. Does this guy want to go? Where are my spears? Where is my inventory? There it is. Oh, we don't have any spears. Right, the dude's getting axed. I can't hit him with a spear. Right, you should have just got... Oh, dear God. Dear God. I don't know why it lagged that there. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and do this. Whether or not it works, I do not know. But hopefully. I mean, hopefully we can get it roughly squared off. I'm not 100% sure it'll happen. But it's worth a go. Just to see. Because it'll drive me around the bend if I can't get it actually fully squared off. We need more trees. So I'm going to take down this one. Right, so what I've done, because the way I normally would do it didn't work, I've just laid the log down on the ground and left it lay there. I've picked up some logs and I've changed it to vertical placement, and I've tried to place them as sort of flush or parallel with that log on the ground as I can. And from what I can see, if I change the log to sort of ground placement again, I mean, that looks pretty spot on. If it's not, it'll only be out by a tiny little bit, and I can live with that. But that looks pretty good. So that is how I always try to get the wall parallel to the actual base. Simply get a log, change it to the ground placement like that, and then try and line it up with the base, move it out to where you want your wall to be, place it down, and then place the logs using the log that you've put on the ground as a sort of marker or indicator of where you need to actually place your vertical logs in order to get the wall parallel. Now we carry on building it for the next 30 years, because it's going to be massive. Yeah. Now, as you can see, we've got the sort of front wall of the base built. We've scalped an area, but that's okay. It's going to happen when we need logs. So, what we're going to do is we're now going to run this off down either side of the base and use the water as a sort of fourth wall, because the cannibals can't swim in this game. So it's going to save me a massive amount of logs if I don't actually have to build a wall. So if I only have to build 3 out of 4 walls, it's going to save me some logs. And also, it's just handy to be able to get water and fish and that sort of thing without having to go sort of outside of your base. But I'm going to show you now, I'll try to show you how to do get the walls parallel down either side. Now we actually have one out the front. You might have to bear with me a second while I figure out how to do this, because it's been a while. So it turns out it's really not complicated to make the other 2 walls parallel to the first wall you build. All you have to do is get your logs, run over, and it just auto snaps on to the last log, like that. You can see, just snapping. And I'm pretty sure that means that this will all run parallel if I could just keep putting logs down. So we've got some trees and stuff down here. I think this is going to be quite a quick video, so maybe we will build a tower. We'll see how I'm feeling once I've actually got the wall built. But I'll catch up with you once I've got this defensive wall built, or maybe once I've just got one of the other ones built, because you can see now how that's coming together. It looks like it's going to run parallel to the base, the same as the first wall. So I'll catch up with you once I've done that. Well, we've got that wall built. Now we might run into a bit of an issue, which is something I completely forgot about until I got there. You can see, obviously, we've got the water. Now, you are going to struggle in some areas to place logs in water. So, I mean, you can see this isn't very deep, so the cannibals will be able to get round. Which is a massive concern, considering I've just seen one sprint at us wearing a black jumper and a skull for a mask, helmet, whatever. Now, I did have a snap point show up for this just before. It seems to be there. So I can get it from up here. But if I go into the water, it seems a bit... No, it doesn't. That seems to work okay. I don't know how deep into the water we're going to be able to put these logs. But I'm guessing we'll find out. I'm assuming you can see that the ground sort of slopes away quite quickly. So we might be able to do a little... Well, put a few logs in, but I mean, I don't seem to be getting the direct snap point now, which is a bit frustrating. So I'm going to have to sort of... Hello? Oh. Well, that was menacing, wasn't it? Each bloke's just watching us. But yeah, it doesn't seem to snap around here, so I'm going to... I would really like it to snap. I don't know why it's now snapping, but it wouldn't snap to the whole wall that up. Oh, hello. Yes, I forgot. You're able to get in right now. Ah, mate. I'm off. He's just gone in my house. Where's me ball? Which number's me ball on? Number 2. So why am I pressing number 2 and nothing's happening? He's knocking on me door. Bloke's invincible? What on earth is happening? Why won't you die? Oh, dear God, that was... I'm really sorry, Calvin. That was my bad. I don't know what is going on. I don't know why when the door was open, I couldn't hit him. Why'd you move? Stop rolling! Honestly. What is going on? Apparently, that's it. I want me log back, though. So that is it. That's it for that side. We had to wing it a bit when we got into the water, but it doesn't look too bad, I don't think, to be honest with you. So now we're going to do the other side. You can see 2 out of 4 sides done, or 2 out of 3 sides, because like I said, we're not doing the back side where the water is. So I'll catch up with you once I get the other side down, or if anything interesting happens. Which, at the minute, it seems to have gone quiet again. So I guess we'll see. Right, so, after I built the wall, my game crashed. I didn't save it, so I come back in and rebuild the wall again. It may look slightly different. I've tried to place it in exactly the same place, but it is probably off, because, you know, I'm not perfect. The principles are still the same. I used a log, laid down on the ground, leveled it off with a cabin, moved it out to roughly where I wanted the wall, started placing vertical logs to get it parallel with the log that was on the ground, and then built the whole wall out of that. We've got all 3 sides up. We are now going to build the gates. And to do that, all we have to do is take some logs. I think it's 1 log per gate. Find roughly where you want it to be. I'm going to put one in front of the house, just right here. And then you should get that little indicator, which means you can put down a gate. And that is how you make defensive wall gates, as well as your nice parallel defensive wall. But what we're going to do is, because I don't like the idea of only having 1 gate, like 1 way in, 1 way out, we're going to place a couple more down. We're going to have 1 on each side. I think we're going to put 1 here, maybe. Yeah, we'll make it 2. Why not? And then we're going to take these logs, go over here and do roughly the same thing. I feel like I'm going to sneeze really badly right now. Spoilers, I did. So, what we're going to do, we want it to be like, kind of about here. So maybe that way, like that. I'm trying to get them roughly in the same place, but I mean, it might happen, it may not happen. That tree might have to come down. I just went mental when I came back in. I just started chopping down everything. I've left the ones near me base. I didn't really care about what I chopped down. I was just absolutely fuming. I managed to build the wall, and the game crashed, and I lost it all. But now we've got the gates, we're going to go around, and we're going to turn these into proper defensive walls, or spiked walls, just to make sure that no cannibals can climb over. And it's as simple as just looking at them with your axe. You get the indicator, you click, you smash, you chop the top off, and it's all lovely and pointy to stab anything that's going to climb over the top of it. So this is what we're going to do for the 9,000 logs we've put down around the base. So I won't show you the whole thing, because my god, that would be the most boring thing in the world. More boring than just watching me chop down logs and take them back to base before putting them in as a fence. But we shall catch up once this wall is finished, in the sense of that it is nice and spiked and nothing's going to climb over the top of it. So that is that. You can see now from out here we've got quite a good point of view, to be honest. All of the spikes have been put into the wall. The defensive wall is now finished. The gates are in place. No cannibals will be easily able to walk into my house, especially not now, which is the dream. So me and Calvin are safe for a little bit longer. You can see there you've got a gate on all sides, just in case I need to get out on either side to defend or whatever, or escape even. Not quite sure, but it's just handy to have those exit points. We've got easy access to water at the back here, and easy access to fish for Calvin to go and feed us. And what should happen is, I don't think this is... Ooh, this is shallow enough for them to run across, but this should be the only point where they can actually get in. I didn't think about this. I might have to sort of block this off at some point. Maybe build a sort of bridge across it or something, and maybe close off the bridge with a gate. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how big of a problem that is. But I think we've got a really pretty setup here. You can see there we've got our hut, our defensive walls and gates, and I think everything's come together nicely. Since this video has taken so long due to the crash, I'm not going to build any towers or defensive accessories yet. I think this is a pretty good place to end. We got everything we needed, everything we set out to do, apart from the towers. But like I said, it would just take too long at this point. We've already been going for an hour. So we will do that in a future video. But that is it. So if you have enjoyed this video, or you have any ideas what you want me to do next, please do let me know in the comments. Also, make sure to like this video to show support for the game on the channel. And if you are new to the channel, which most people will be, make sure to subscribe if you have enjoyed the content to be kept up to date with future releases. But other than that, I'll see you in a future video. Goodbye.